and welcome to this week's episode of The Scoop, live from Saddleback College. I'm your host, Ashley White. Thank you all so much for joining us. This week, we will be visiting Joanna McCartney as she shows us all about her work as a seamstress. After that, we will travel to a unique ice cream shop that is putting their own creative spin on the classic dessert. Then, we will head out to a thought-provoking event recently held here on campus. Later on, we will sit down with childhood development professor Barbara Tamialis, as well as shine a light on the talented Saddleback filmmaker Matthew Serrano. And finally, we will enjoy a live studio performance by the Persian ensemble Del Bon. To start things off, we will be visiting the seamstress Joanna McCartney, who makes beautiful dresses in her shop in Orange County. Joanna named the company after her grandmother and great-grandmother. Her company, Pine & Smith, proudly promotes the use of ethically sourced materials for all of their clothing.
In Orange County, you can find a seamstress working hard on her linen dress line called Pine & Smith Clothiers. Her name is Joanna McCartney, and she's been working on Pine & Smith since 2014. But how did she start it?
So it started one summer when it was really hot, and I went to the mall to look for some dresses, and it was triple digits. So everything I could find was artificial and synthetic fabrics. So I just figured I could try making a dress in a style I liked, and I came across linen. And so I just started sewing, and I really got into it. And then I started taking it up to a market in LA called Artists and Fleas, which is kind of a quirky little maker's market once a month. So I was making the dresses at that time for the market, and then I decided to open up a shop on Etsy. So Etsy, they started selling, and then when I got to like making 30 dresses a month, it was too much for me. So then I found a local seamstress who decided to come and help me, and she was amazing in like progressing because she was a better sewer than I was. So she taught me how to like techniques to sew.
And as volume grew in demand, she hired more seamstresses, making sure to pay them fair wages. They currently have their linen-based brand sewn in LA, but what makes their fabric, linen, so special?
For many reasons, linen's so cool in the heat. But I really like that it was natural, so it's made in a sustainable way. It's grown, it doesn't require a lot of water, and it doesn't do damage to the earth that it's grown in. So it actually, I think it fertilizes the soil that it's grown in, and the entire flax plant, which is made into linen, is used, so there's no waste. So it's kind of cool. Any scraps from our linen is being sent to a shredder in LA, and then that shredded fabric is then woven into car seat covers and airplane seat covers, which is pretty cool.
The dress is zero waste, and at the moment they are trying to find a way to eliminate the plastic that the clothing comes wrapped in. She even sent some leftover pieces of linen to local schools so they can use it for crafts, and the rest is shredded and recycled. With that in mind, what is Pine & Smith working on currently?
It's just been mostly marketing and like re-going over why, what's important to us and why we're doing it. Why do we care about being ethical and sustainable, and what's important and how we do that and how clear we can be so we can share that with everyone. So it's just getting everything, like all these boxes ticked, I guess you'd say, to make sure that, everything's going the way we want it to go and the people working with us are doing it the way they should be doing it. When our dresses are being made, I'll go up there and just check out that they're doing everything the way that we need it made. They'll send me photos of them being worked on, or sometimes we'll just show up and just, check it out.
If you want to buy a dress or see what else she's working on, check out her website, pineandsmith.com, or her Instagram, @pineandsmithclothiers.
If you're interested in supporting an environmentally friendly local business, check out Joanna's website, pineandsmith.com. Joanna and her work can also be found on Instagram @pineandsmithclothiers. Now, let's head down to Garden Grove, where the wonderful people at Nitrolato are really turning things up in the world of ice cream with liquid nitrogen.
Nitrolato is a small ice cream shop located in Garden Grove, California. Although they only opened a year ago, their popularity has boomed due to their strong presence on social media. Their Instagram has over 30,000 followers and is bringing in customers from all over California that want to check out their cool creations for themselves. Unlike other nitrogen ice cream places, Nitrolato has found a way to make their cool smoke effect last longer, making it easier for their guests to photograph.
Nitrolato is basically a combination of nitrogen and gelato, thus nitrolato. Basically what we do is really simple. We just take white base, which is basically just milk and heavy cream and sugar, and we put liquid nitrogen inside, which basically fast freezes our ice cream and basically also gives a show for the people to watch because it also comes with a smoke effect. Yes, and on the bottom we put dry ice and warm water. And that also gives a smoke effect so that customers can like take pictures and like share with their friends.
Nitrolato offers traditional ice cream flavors, but they also have 4 signature flavors that you can only get at Nitrolato. These flavors are durian avocado, sea salt coffee, Nutella s'mores, and raspberry cheesecake. Their most popular is the durian avocado because it serves the Asian and Vietnamese community in the area. Other than their signature ice cream flavors, they also have other notable menu items such as the churro pops and the churro bowl. Here's the process of making the maple bacon churro pop. They begin by deep frying them. Then they apply glaze, and flavor depends on which churro pop you order. And then they apply the topping. They offer 3 other more unique flavors: lime glaze with coconut pistachio, taro glaze with almonds and fruity pebbles, and matcha glaze with crushed Kit Kat and Oreos. They also offer churro bowls with 3 flavors to choose from and ice cold teas to top off the Nitrolato experience. So whether you're trying to gain followers on Instagram by snapping shots of your smoky dessert, or take your taste buds into an adventure with durian avocado flavor, head over to Nitrolato and grab yourself a churro pop. For more information, you can find them both on Instagram and Yelp.
Thank you, Nitrolato, for giving us a look at your inventive and delicious dessert treats. If you'd like to see more of Nitrolato's yummy creations, they can be found on Instagram at Nitrolato. Now it's time for a quick commercial break. When the Scoop returns, we'll be taking a look at Saddleback news. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Saddleback College enriches its students and the South Orange County community by providing a comprehensive array of high-quality courses and programs. We foster student learning and success in the attainment of academic degrees and career technical certificates, transfer to 4-year institutions, and improvement of basic skills. We hope Saddleback College will be your first choice if you seek a dynamic, innovative, and student-centered post-secondary education.
Welcome back to The Scoop. I'm your host, Ashley White. Our news crew recently had the opportunity to head out to an event hosted here on Saddleback campus, which encouraged students to take an introspective look into their lives. Let's take a closer look.
One's own mortality can often be a difficult topic to address, but the Before I Die project recently held at Saddleback College aims to do just that. In conjunction with Saddleback's recent Majors Fair, a large chalkboard was set up in the quad for students to write down their goals that they would like to accomplish in their lifetime. The intention of Before I Die is to inspire people to consider their own deaths in a positive and fearless way. In addition to connecting participants through a courageous discussion about mortality, the Before I Die chalkboard also became a site of inspiration.
My cousin, several years ago, thought it was something else that he died of, but then found out actually like a week ago that he overdosed with heroin.
Participants rapidly filled the entire chalkboard with their biggest goals, which ranged from traveling and skydiving to helping others and loving oneself. Saddleback's Before I Die display is a continuation of an art project with participants and events held all over the world. Following the death of a loved one, artist Candy Chang started Before I Die by inviting people to write life aspirations on the side of a building. Her local community embraced the project, and Before I Die has since been brought to over 60 different countries. This project has been brought to Saddleback College by local residents who wanted to create a space on campus where students and faculty could celebrate life and encourage their peers to follow their deepest dreams. From Saddleback College, Channel 39.
Thank you to those who organized and participated in the event Before I Die. We hope everyone will take the time today to reflect on what matters to them and set inspiring goals for their lives. Here at The Scoop, we had the wonderful opportunity to speak with childhood education professor Barbara Tamialis. Speaking with Professor Tamialis today is The Scoop's Michael Sines. Let's take a look at what they discussed.
Hello and welcome. My name is Michael Sines, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Child Development and Education Professor Barbara Tamialis. Thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks for having me.
So what is it exactly that you do here at Saddleback?
I chair the Child Development Department. We actually work with training teachers who work with children from age birth through high school. They start with us.
And what is your background in child development?
Well, my background is I went to school in Michigan, and then I worked in the inner city of Washington, D.C. for 27 years, raised my kids there, and worked with families, with parents, helping them to get employment, and also on parenting skills, and worked with children, helping get children ready for school, and helping children to be successful in school and to go on to college for some of them.
And what attracted you to teach at Saddleback, being from Michigan?
Well, I actually moved here from D.C. in 2002. My son married a Californian, and they begged us to come out here, and we did. They won. And so when I came out here, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. So I got a job actually directing a preschool program, and then I also started teaching part-time at Saddleback. And I enjoyed being on the other end of training people to become teachers rather than working with them once they were already teachers. And so I taught part-time for about 3 years, and then I've been full-time since then.
And what skills do you teach students in order to be successful in the field of child development?
The main thing that we try and teach students is that good teachers key into what their students know, key into their interests and to their development. And that it's only that when we can key into what children actually know and what they're interested in that we can help them to move to the next level of learning. And so it's not about kind of pouring information into them, but it's kind of learning along with them and helping them to develop critical thinking skills, helping the children to, and the teachers as well, actually, as you're helping the children.
And what are some of the biological and psychological aspects to child development? And what are some emotional changes that you've seen in your career?
Well, I think there's been a change, maybe because I'm old, that we used to look at education as a teacher kind of imparting wisdom to children and kind of getting them to know the right answers to things. And now I think we approach it from a way of saying that what we really need to do is learn how to be good problem solvers, and then we can learn what we need to know to learn, and we can innovate in ways that are most helpful to our learning and to other people, to society. Teaching children empathy, that's very important, to value other people's opinions and to work collaboratively with other people, as opposed to being kind of me first competitive, that we feel like the society is better served that way, and that the problems that we'll face as human beings will be solved by people who know how to problem solve and work with other people.
And is there a certain rubric of ethics that the students have to go through in order to be certified?
Yes, we actually have a national association. It's called NAEYC, National Association for the Education of Young Children. And there's a code of conduct that we have. And so our students learn that in their introductory course, and then also they approach it in many other courses from the administrative standpoint for people who are becoming administrators, from a teacher standpoint, from people who are becoming teachers. And so it really has to do with honoring children, honoring families, honoring diversity, and knowing how to work together for the betterment of everybody as opposed to the advancement of one.
And what are some of the achievements and breakthroughs that you've seen with your students when they're in the field?
In our program, students are in the field in almost every course they take. There are 2 lab courses where they're working in a classroom with children, where they're interacting with children, but in the other courses, they're at least observing what's happening and analyzing what's going on.
Well, that's all the time that we have for this evening, and I want to thank you, Professor, for coming out to us. And this has been Channel 39 with The Scoop. I'm Michael Sines, signing off. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Michael, and a huge thank you to Professor Tamialis for taking the time to talk with us about Saddleback's Childhood Development and Education Program. Now it's time for us to take another short commercial break, but when we come back, we'll be showcasing this week's Filmmaker Spotlight. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, I'm your host Ashley White. Welcome back to The Scoop on Channel 39. Now let's take a look at Saddleback filmmaker Matthew Serrano, who tells a timeless story of love under impossible circumstances. This is his film With Love, Trudy.
My name is Matthew Serrano and I made With Love, Trudy.
You can't write about Shelley.
What does that mean? Of course I can write about Shelley.
No, what I mean is a lot of this stuff is personal and his family could sue us or something. What are you going to write about anyway?
With Love, Trudy is a biopic about a German woman who reconnects with one of her long-lost lovers, a man that she used to be in love with and had a relationship with back at the end of World War II.
Book is about my life. It's about what happened to me, and I want people to know the truth.
When I first heard about the story, the thing that connected with me was the fact that it was the opportunity to make a film about an older woman. And I like seeing films where people who aren't really represented as much in popular culture or just in culture in general get represented. And I thought it was a really cool opportunity to not only make a film, but make a student film where the protagonist was an older woman, especially one with such an inspiring story as Trudy's. Having the responsibility of adapting an entire person's life, especially ones as crazy as Trudy's, is it's a lot of pressure. and I knew I had to get it right. Like, I knew there was no way I could get it wrong.
Is this Shelley?
No, ma'am. This is his son.
This is the opportunity to make a film about like a woman who, at the end of World War II, fell in love with the enemy, you know, an American soldier.
This is surely a surprise for you. Do you know who is calling? This is Trudy from Germany. Do you still remember me?
Love has an inspiring way of withstanding even the most difficult of obstacles in our lives. We are incredibly honored here at The Scoop to get a glimpse at this talented director's short film debut. Now it's time to head back into the studio where we hear a live studio performance from the musical ensemble Del Bon. We here at The Scoop are very excited to hear a song from this incredible all-female band who aims to bring traditional Persian music to all of us. The Scoop is so fortunate to have Del Bon perform such an incredible song for us live in our studio. It was such a joy for us all to experience. If you want to check out more of their music, you can visit delbon.com. Well, that is all the time we have for this week's episode of The Scoop. We would like to send our thanks to Joanna McCartney for showing us her environmentally friendly clothing pieces. It's good to know there's another person trying to keep the world clean and green. Big thanks to Nitrolato as well for inviting us over to their shop and giving us a close look at their sweet frozen treats. In fact, I'll have to go back to try out their other flavors. The Scoop would also like to send a special thank you to Professor Barbara Talmialis for joining us in studio to discuss Childhood Development and Education Program. We're lucky to have such a helpful program for the kids. And congratulations to Matthew Serrano for his film With Love, Trudy for being accepted into the Newport Beach Film Festival. We wish you the best with your future projects. And we'd also like to thank all of the faculty and students who participated in Saddleback's Before I Die event. It's a pleasure to be able to show an event so impactful. Thank you to the talented musicians of Del Bon for delighting us with an amazing in-studio performance once again, and we'd be ever so lucky if you came back for another performance. Finally, we here at The Scoop would like to thank you all for joining us here this week. I've been your host, Ashley White, and we'll see you next time on Channel 39.